How did we get there? But you know I love you. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, I'm Mwape. This is Crown Your Main, my YouTube page. If you're not subscribed, you know what time it is. We're at 3K. Guys, the aim for end of 2020 is 5K. I really think it's possible. I believe in you. So if you're not subscribed, you guys who withhold subscriptions, it's like literally the easiest thing to just touch that. How hard is your heart? Check yourself. But find it in your heart to subscribe. I think that would be really nice. So today I'm doing my story time on like the journey to the UK, basically, like how I ended up going there. For my master's and everything that I went through and stuff like that. I haven't told it in such a long time, so I'm actually quite excited. So let me get right into it. So, July, it all started in July of 2015. I was just about to finish my undergrad. I was at Mulungushi. And I felt like Mulungushi, no offense, I just felt like, I don't know, we all know, if you've been to Zaman University, you know how it is nothing close to your expectations of university life. And I felt like I needed a different experience. That's another video for another day. My time at Mulungushi, guys, I went through a lot. It was quite something. So I'll do a story time on that. But I felt like I wanted to go and do my honors, at least my honors, really quick after. So I remember my mom brought it up. She was like, why don't you, go and do your master's once you're done with school? So I was like, okay, cool. That was how it started. So finally, I entered that mind frame of, okay, 2016, because I finished uni in August, graduated in October. So I was like, okay, 2016, I'm off to SA, started doing applications. And then when it was time for things to start falling into place, everything came to a halt. My dad was like, no, you get a job, work, earn your own money and sponsor yourself, do your own masters by yourself. So I'm one of those kids who, like, if I'm told like, no, we won't do this or you can't do that, I'm like, you know what, guys, I'll prove it. I'll prove myself. I'll live without your help. That was how that December I started to scholarship hunt. So I've done tips for looking for scholarships. I'll put the link in the iCard. I did so much research. I came across so many like websites. You guys, anywhere I just see scholarship, what I've applied. Like I put my heart in there. Like I just went all out. So did all my applications. It was, it was okay. I had hope. I believed in my story and I believed that God would come through, but he didn't for a whole year and it became so frustrating. So towards the end of that year, I was like, okay, you know what? Let me try again with my parents. Let me see if there'll be more, accepting of sponsoring me. Because guys, it wasn't costing much. I just didn't understand why they were not agreeing to sponsor me. I was like, let me try again with South Africa. I tabulated and it wasn't still coming to something that's like, where it's literally like you can't eat at home because Mwape is pursuing her master's. And I felt like them seeing how hard I worked for the whole year trying to get a scholarship and all that would like appeal to their senses. But guys, if I tell you, my dad, as well, his heart was hard as rock. He was not having it. I tried saving up. I had a little money and there was a scholarship that you could apply for once you get to the university. Guys, I pitched all that. My father still said no. So I just accepted. I said, you know what, it is fine. This is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Now, during like the last 3 months of the year leading to 2017, I had applied, I started doing like random quizzes on this website called Score, and I talked about it in my video. Just randomly doing quizzes and being like, like seeing if you can get a scholarship. And December, I decided I'm done. Like guys, this scholarship talk was just so much, it's not happening, so I was done. Randomly in February, I got an email where it was saying, I should put it, that email made me so happy. It was like, congratulations to Ruth something. You've been awarded with a scholarship to study at Nottingham Trent University, and congratulations to our 10 runner-ups, and my name was there. I was like, what? I was so happy. at that time, so what happened was I was like, okay, great, this has happened, well and good. Now, let me just apply. So I was like, you know what? I'll just apply because they said that we're eligible for, is it 50% off tuition? So I was like, you know what? Let me just apply. So I applied real quick, moved on with my life. Guys, I don't know, just, anyway. So I moved on with my life. I was like, okay, I've applied. I even stopped. You guys, I did not hunt for any single scholarship. I moved on. February, I applied, I was done. Fast forward to May. I think it was May. Yes, May. I was working at MTN, and while I was at work, you guys, I just received an email. And the email, I'll put it here, and it was just like, congratulations, you've been awarded a scholarship, which is 50% off your postgraduate tuition fees. It was such a big waiver of the tuition fees. But at the same time, it meant that it was a very big chunk that needed to be paid for me. And I remember I went to my boss, shout out to Mr. Ngosa, guys. I love that man with all my heart. Like, he's just the real MVP. So, I went to Mr. Ngosa's office and I was like, Mr. Ngosa, I've got a really big scholarship. And it's big, it's good. I was like, but I don't know, like, there's nothing that I can do with this. And he was like, like, he was the most dramatic man. He was just like, which God do you serve? And he made me feel so ashamed because I'm like, okay, I'm a professing believer, but I think as Reformed people, we tend to we're not like faith, like, like where like, and God will come. We are more inclined to be like, like it's not like God, I believe, So he was like, where's your faith? Like, Mape, do you think God can fail to provide that money for you? And like, obviously being Reformed, I was like, like that's a little too charismatic. But I was like, you know what? Perhaps let me just relax and see where it goes. So I tested the waters. I'm sure people who have parents and guardians know. So I just sent my parents the screenshot of a scholarship just to see where their minds were at. Guys, guess what? Scholarship, yada, yada, yada. And they're like, oh, congratulations. So I got home and I told my mom about it. My mom was, guys, like, I was just like, what? My mom was like, so how much is needed? How much? I couldn't believe it.
I think they also need to know.
Guys, Fifi don't play games. Like, she's one of the most, like, if it's no, it's no. Don't waste your time. That's why in the video with her, I was just so grateful. Please check it out, iCard. She knew how much was taken off. She knew how much was needed. And she was just like, oh, where would you stay? I was like, guys, I couldn't believe my ears. I was just like, what? And I started to feel like God was playing games with me because it was too good to be true. So now things started to move slowly. That weekend, I was like, I looked at accommodation fees. They were over the roof, guys. Like, I was like, what? It was just a lot. But I did my research. I found a program where you can work as a residence assistant and you get 50% off your accommodation fees. So I did an interview. I got the job as a volunteer for the same program. It was just so crazy. From the first time I finished my grade 12 exams, I never wanted to do my studies in Zambia. When I went to Mulungu, she actually didn't apply to go there. My sister was there and she's the one who did the application for me. I tried begging my parents that let me go to SA, like the tuition fees, there's not much of a difference between UNZA and, like NMMU in SA. Like I tried, they refused. I tried UNAM. I even downloaded application. Guys, I always wanted to leave Zambia to pursue my studies. And to think it was finally happening, I was like, this feels like clickbait. Like, this can't be real. But anyway, finally did all that. Guys, everything was falling into place. Side visa applications. Now watch the... Yeah, visa applications. I was quite scared because, so anyway, they have requirements. It's called a tier 4 visa. There's 40 points and 10 points are for, they want your tuition fees for the year and your accommodation fees for the whole year in an account, like seated in that account for 28 days a month, yeah. So, Mom and Dad were like, you know what, we feel optimistic. Like, don't worry, Dad. No. Dad. They'll look at my records in the system. They'll see that this man, he comes into the UK, he lives, you know, steady bank account. Trust me, yeah, okay. In my mind, my bags were packed, by the way. You know that thing where you're like, you know what, I've only got like 1 more month of work because I calculated the day I have to go to school. I was like, got the email, your thing is at the, what do they call that place? Visa, UK Center, whatever, like, come pick it up. Went to pick it up. I actually went with Namundi, with my sister-in-law. She was dating my brother at the time. And she came to pick me up. We went, guys. The first thing you see when you pull that letter out of the envelope is reason to leave denied. Like, it's the first, when you pull the letter, that's all you see. I cried. I was so sad. I went to work because I hadn't knocked off yet. Guys, tears were just flowing. And it was like out of my control. Not that I wanted to cry, but I was just so sad. And it felt like it made sense because it didn't make sense that God would actually like give me that opportunity to go. I was just like, it makes sense, but it's so close yet so far away. I really struggled. It must have been end of August that I got the rejection. So school was supposed to start on the 22nd of September. So my parents were like, Mwape, just calm down. It was just a lot. It was stressful. Shout out to UK administration. You guys, those universities are so efficient, like instant, and they treat you like a person. It's not, you're not a random number. They actually, oh, hi Mwape, you know, very nice people. NTU team, like amazing. Did everything, I applied. They came to collect my visa. Mr. Ngosa took me, guys, my boss. He took me. Him and Mwila. Mwila was like, I'm coming to pick you up. And Mr. Ngosa was like, hey, I'm coming. And he's the one who even opened that envelope. No, I'm opening. Mr. Ngo, oh my gosh. See why I laugh? He was just like such a father, guys. Open the envelope, guys. Like it was there. So I was excited. Guys, the visa came, told everyone. I could not believe I was leaving. The same day, bought the air ticket because I had to leave. That was a Monday when the visa came out. I had to leave on Wednesday because I was already running late. The night before leaving, Tuesday night, I was looking at the passport. Guys, I just see validity 1 month. I was like, what? Guys, we are so close to leaving. The visa is valid for 1 month. What kind of visa is this? I called Maji panicking. I was like, Maji, the visa is wrong. It's faulty. Like, it's 1 month. I'll be kicked out. She was like, Mwape, calm down. You know, it's all good. You get it for a month. Then you find your permit when you get there. And I was at peace. You guys, that's how I left. When I think of my life, I feel like that was my, I don't know, people call it Ebenezer. Like, where that point where you see, like, God is faithful, yeah? Just to, like, simmer down the hype and the story. I often felt like God was like, give me this, I'll give you that. Or like if he gives you something good, it comes with a catch. So I felt like my desire to leave to do my studies had been there for what, 6 years. It never happened. And I was just like, it will never happen. And that was my perception of God, which was why in the video I talked about principles that we live by. It was my first one. Don't let your circumstances determine and change who you think God is, like your view of God. For the longest time, I felt like, and when the visa was denied, I was like, this makes sense. Because if I go, I'll be so happy and I'll forget God. And God is like, Mape, Sisi Kanya, you're not going anywhere. But the visa came. I got on that flight and I couldn't believe it. But in my unbelief, I convinced myself that if I go, I won't have a good time. I'll be homesick because God just can't give me something. Like, guys, with no, like a backhanded gift. I was like, it can't happen. To my surprise, you guys, I had the most amazing time. And whenever I think of my circumstances and the times when I don't trust that God will give me something that my heart desires, I'm often taken back to that moment when I thought that he wouldn't come through for me. And for me, that just reminds me of his faithfulness over again. He blessed me. He changed my parents' hearts. That visa window, everything was tight. But it all happened so well. Everything worked perfectly fine. Hiccups don't mean that it's the end of the world. And like, enjoy life, you know, and trust that he will bring good things your way if that's his will. And don't underestimate his love for you and, you know, how good he is. Just, you guys, test and see that the Lord is good. He is so good. And yeah, you know, okay, think of something that you really desire like for years, and you've just like thought it's out of reach. Like you hope it will happen, but in your head you're just like, it can't, because if I just go, guys, the level of happiness to know that this has come to pass will just be, I don't know. And for me, that was me. I was just like, I don't know if that can ever happen. I've always wanted to do school abroad, and to think after my parents refused, after trying, pushing, it just was not happening. And to think finally I was getting on that plane and I was going. And I remember I was telling myself, you know what, there's a catch. This can't be happening. And I was telling my sister, I was like, can you believe this? And she was like, you know what, Mwape, I suspect you'll hate it when you go there. And for me, I was like, that makes sense. Because it can't happen just like this and I just go and I'm happy. But you guys, to my utter surprise and shock, I had the best year. God doesn't give backhanded gifts. Like he's like, okay, you know, here, go to the UK, but miserable time. He's not like that. Or he's not someone who'll be like, okay, you've been longing for a child. Here's your child, but this. Like it doesn't work that way, you know, like you've been longing for marriage. Here's your marriage, but abusive husband. Or like here's your marriage, but a cheater. Like it's not like that. He actually does give his children good and perfect gifts. Every good and perfect gift comes from above. So trust in him in his own time. And if he doesn't give you that desire, trust me, he will replace that desire with something else. Trust me, this, I'm telling you, I had the most amazing time. And look out for part 2, where I'm going to be telling you how my year was in the UK. So please look out. Don't forget to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any story from your part where you experienced something that you always wanted and you didn't think it would come, and it came, just share your story and let's just celebrate together how God is and how amazing he is. So yeah, that's my story. I hope you liked it and I hope it encouraged you. And yeah, there's that. So have an amazing day and take care. Bye.